now 3 times, and I'm a bit of a geek, and I'm a bit of a super fan. Jersey Boys is phenomenal, and it's taken on a whole life of its own, and it's introduced Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons to a whole new generation of fans.
Absolutely. And what's interesting about it is that, back then we didn't have magazines and tabloids for them because they were kind of a guys group, not like, the Beatles had all these young women that wanted to know about them.
Right.
So you don't really know who these 4 guys were, right? And so now, it's amazing to go back and hear all of this music. It's, 40, 50 years of music, and get to know the story behind each of the songs. It's really,
Now, the other thing about it is amazing. It's the great story about 4 guys from the hood, tough, rough, tough, and they sing. So
Yeah.
it's sort of a disconnect, right? I'm a really tough guy.
Don't we look like 4 tough guys from the hood?
Let me sing a song. I mean, it sort of doesn't make any sense, kind of, right? I mean, it's a different era.
Tommy addresses that in like his very opening monologue. He says, there's 3 ways to get out of the neighborhood. Yeah, you know what's your line?
You can join the army, you could get mobbed up, or you could become a star. And
so they chose stardom.
Do we have to pay extra for the dialect there?
Right.
Let's
I'll be
talk.
here 2 weeks.
Hayden, you're Frankie Valli, which it's very hard to have one Frankie Valli, the Frankie Valli. Pretty intimidating to play Frankie Valli on the stage.
Yeah, there's intimidation, there's pressure. Overall, I think that all of those can be substituted with responsibility. It's a huge responsibility to fill in the shoes of the man himself, the living legend.
Right.
That is still out there singing wonderfully,
Right.
if not the same,
Yeah.
that he sounded back in the day. So there's a huge responsibility. Great power comes great responsibility.
How do you feel about it? Is it a responsibility?
I don't know. My spidey senses say.
You've obviously performed in front of Frankie Valli.
I've during my audition process, I've
That's
got
got to be pretty intimidating.
Yeah, I think I peed myself a little bit. Not gonna lie.
All right. All right. This is live radio. So nothing we can do
Authentic
about
language.
The 4 of you as actors, how much of this is the same every night, and how much of it is it a different performance every night?
Well, I think theater in general is a living and breathing organism, so every show is different in a sense that the audience reaction is different. The day what we had, things change on a daily basis. We have a script that we stick to in choreography and songs, of course, but on stage things change and evolve nightly because it's live. It's real. We're being truthful to the moment.
Do you ever purposely try and throw the other guy off?
Yes. I mean, no, never. Who's listening?
Never. You can't see the winks on it.
But you have to keep it interesting and sort of lively all at the same time. I mean, you guys have done this hundreds of times.
Right.
So you have to sort of keep it interesting, I guess.
Acting is hearing something for the first time and saying something for the first time. That's really the premise of what we do. So, after 700 times doing it,
Right.
the work comes in and the technique comes in. And I think the relationships that we build off stage feed into our on-stage brotherhood that we are sort of portraying up there. And this is a story of, ultimately, brothers.
Jersey Boys tonight starts at the Fox, runs through March 2nd. It's a must. I'm going to go out and see it for the 4th or 5th time, and I've downloaded the music in the audience while waiting for the musical. I've downloaded the music so I could hear it on the way home. My question for you guys is, how much did you know about Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons before you started doing the show?
I knew the music, a lot of the music, all but 2 songs maybe. I didn't know anything about the group. I think that's the point of this musical and why it's so successful. It's a story that you didn't know you wanted to know.
Right. It's a great point. Yeah. Everybody. I mean, you guys weren't Frankie Valli fans beforehand, were you?
Well, no. I think it's somebody that a lot of us, our parents' generation of music that we listened to for a very long time, maybe kind of in the background. But it's 40 years of music. So even like this early stuff like Sherry and Walk Like a Man, you didn't realize is the same group as Beggin' or I Said Towards You. It has a very different sound because they evolved and stayed relevant for so long.
And then I've never been able to hear the song "Oh What a Night." I've never been able to. I mean, every time I hear that now, I just think of you and that night back in December.
Still waiting to lose my virginity in real life. So.
Any day now.
You're waiting till marriage.
Is that the reason the song exists? I mean, is that exactly how it happened?
Actually, there's a funny story behind that song. Bob had originally wrote it as a Prohibition song. It was late December back in '23. And his wife Judy was like, "That's a terrible song." So she rewrote the lyrics as a kind of a man coming of age and losing his virginity.
Okay.
And thank God she did.
Right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Good. Because you listen to these words and you don't really put two and two together, and then when you see it performed, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Did you go to Frankie Valli School? Isn't there a university or some class you
Yeah,
take
it's
to go?
called Frankie Camp.
Frankie Camp.
And there's just a group of 10 Frankie potentials that kind of hold hands and sing Kumbaya.
Pretty much.
No,
I've always wondered
it's
what you
towards
guys-
the end of it's towards the end of the audition process of Frankie Valli. At maybe the 10th
Right.
audition.
Right.
You know, after dwindling down to the producers and,
Right.
and overall just the creative team. There's about 10 of us that will one way or the other eventually fit into the company or one of the companies
Right.
worldwide.
Right.
And you just it's a 3-day process. 1 day acting, 1 day singing, 1 day with a choreography, and you just barrel on down to focusing on your weaknesses and strengths and honing in on both.
Yeah.
It's a sort of intimate approach to sort of learn a little bit more about the individual up for the job.
Frankie Valli, as you mentioned, still alive, still performing, was at the Fox not too long ago, and was semi-extra in The Sopranos from time to time.
That's right. Yeah, I think it was like season 2 or something.
Yeah, they killed him at some point. Joey Pants offed him, I think, at some point.
Jersey Boys performs at the Fox. It starts tonight, runs through March 2nd. Nicolas, Dromard, thank you very much. You play Tommy.
Yeah.
Hayden, you play Frankie Valli.
Yeah.
Quinn, you're Bob. And Adam, you play Nick. Gentlemen, I can't wait to see it. Best of luck here in St. Louis. When
Thanks.
you're here, do you get to go visit the Arch at all? Do you get to go to Ted Drew's and all that?
Yeah, I think we're
City
doing it
Museum,
all.
apparently.
Pappy's Barbecue.
Pappy's
Rooster.
Barbecue
Yeah.
is a must? Okay, good.
Yeah, City Museum.
City Museum, all right. KTRS Radio.
KTRS
That's
Radio.
all that matters.
And you're having us over for dinner, right?
You betcha, guys. Thank you very much for all of your hard work. Thank you. It's a wonderful show. I can't wait to see it again. And thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having us
you.
back.
Yeah.
It's at the Fox. It's Jersey Boys. Starts tonight, runs through March 2nd, and we'll take you out with a little music from the Jersey Boys at the Fox tonight. Back in a moment on the Big 550 KTRS.